Alève, you're expert for interactive storytelling. So what's your story for this evening?
I just learned that you don't like theory, so this is theory, I'm sorry to say.
No worries.
And you also mentioned that I had a lot of back and forth with the slides. It's because they were 66 in the beginning, so it was kind of hard to reduce to 5. Yeah. Okay, this is what happened. One day I saw that there was a fiction that was interactive, a film, and I saw that you could change what the decision of the protagonist will be, and I thought that's not okay. And from there, one thing led to another, and it started with the concept of adequacy of interaction, and then it went on to this whole theory about how to automate story. It's about, so for instance, a human or another machine maybe has this output, which is the theme, and then automatically the idea would be to create the message for a given person or a group of people that would suit them in order to A, change their mood for the better, B, help them get over some sort of a character flaw that they may have, or something that they need to evolve towards in order to get over some of the problems that they have, which entails, of course, that you would know what problems they have as end users in their own lives and in their own personality. Here I mentioned a lot of things that need to be modeled. That's only to give a taste of what's going to happen after my talk, hopefully. See, if the player decides for anything that a character does, unless the message is adapted accordingly, the theme communicated changes. The message is the concrete situation in which the theme unrolls. In any film, you can identify the theme that they're trying to put through, and then it happens to be happening maybe in a prison or in a life situation such as that's the difference between theme and message. All right. In AI for the arts, I would go for things like that where part of the work is given by the artist, and then the rest is built on it to speed up the process. For instance, in music, well, you could have some new lyrics, and then having learned from past work of the same artist, they could do the same. For instance, also a live show with background visuals, you could do the same. You create your live show without your background visuals, and then the machine has learned from your previous background visuals, and then you don't have to do it again. So that would be the idea. In that, I would like to say that I'm in the position, of a position that AI cannot create art in the narrow sense. We can, I'm sure we can discuss it later. So here we have the originator, that can be a group of people, the player or the viewer, whichever way you want to say it, gains a meaning from the experience that it has, or that he has or she has. Now, I put on here some of the, I guess these attributes of those things which are emotions and character. These are the things that come about when you, I've got these actually mostly from acting. So these are the things that you want to use in modeling emotions to my experience in artificial characters. And here, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the back behind these that would need development in 66 pages, but I won't do that. Yeah. Wait, let me finish up on that. Yes, I wanted to say about this, when and if it happens that we have a system that can actually automatically create the stories, this is something that can be used for bad. So I guess I'm asking you not to use it for bad stuff. And but the other question is how to keep this from being used that way. That's an open question. I don't know. You want to think about that. All right. It doesn't always have to be the character that the player actually plays themselves that have the problems. In fact, oftentimes when these flaws or problems are shown in other characters, it is easier to get into their, I guess, to understand for the player. It is easier to understand their problems and get over them when it's in others. In that sense, when you have POV in virtual reality or something like that, I deal a lot with virtual reality. It does not. I don't think that it's a good idea to do that in order to create empathy, because the person who is there, even if you have, I don't know, sand and you have your barefoot and everything, you are not in the physiological state where the other person that you're trying to gain empathy for was when they were in that situation. So you're going to get a falsified opinion about how they felt. So it doesn't, POV doesn't give you any more empathy than looking at yourself in a mirror, somehow, in a sense. All right. All right, what is a character? What is the definition of, these are the attributes of a character. Now, what is the definition of a character? So this is what I came up with. An element of the game world that, after a theoretically imaginable period of playtime, has the following attributes. Conceptually or spatially identifiable borders, and a worldview, which are applied rules, applied values. The process by which this worldview can manifest itself in the game world, an ongoing process by which the above processes are put into effect, and an igniter, and then a perception of this worldview by the player. So if you have all of that, then you have a character. And if you think about it, the camera, the game world, are characters, well, both of them. Now, about character and about emotions, I want to also say that this, the word is often used of conscious